Hello, my darling. I'm glad to see you again in our lesson. Our topic today is about your inner child and your relationship with your children. Darling, you may complete our class in two ways. The first one, if you have children, then you handle them. The second one, if you have no children, then you handle your inner child. If you want to choose both ways, darlings, then watch the class 2 times. Darlings, you as mothers often address me and ask questions about how to help children or how to change your fate. Many of you have already attended psychologists. It's wonderful that you've received this kind of help. I'd like to say to you that while psychology is for maintaining the subconscious mind, shamanism is for maintaining the soul, the subtle plane and what we don't see, but rather what exists independent of us. Influence of spirits and lineage karma. Therefore, we'll immerse deeply and find out in our class today how to make the life and fate of your child quite different and change your own fate as well. You know, I remember the example of my follower Monica. When she came to me, she expressed her concerns. Nothing is going right in my life. I'm afraid of approaching people and asking questions. It seems to me that all the people in the world, from my boss to my partner, refuse to talk to me. I seldom talk to my parents, as it seems that they don't love me either. She has been living in such a condition for 40 years. After I started working with her, and we performed this ritual, we found out that there was a deep childhood psychological karmic situation. When she was a little girl, she saw a very colorful and beautiful doll and asked her mother to buy it for her. Her mother agreed to do it, but when they came to the checkout, her mother didn't have enough money to pay for the doll. Her mother was looking at her as if apologizing and said, "I can't buy it." And at that moment, Monica felt that her mother didn't love her and just refused to buy the doll. This deep karmic situation influenced her so much that she can now feel it in her adult life. However, she started being obsessed with dolls. She always wanted to buy a doll, but couldn't even afford that. Despite the fact that she had money she was earning herself and was a successful adult woman. Her life changed radically after our ritual. How? You'll find out at the end of our class, just before the ritual. Please follow the recommendations in order to achieve the maximum benefit from our class. The first and the primary recommendation is to do the homework you get after each class. The second recommendation, that is a basic one, is to keep your spine straight. I send much energy and spiritual power to you during our class in order to transform your fate. And if your spine is not straight, energy just won't flow along it and reach the place it should. Always remember that the top of your head must be directed upwards and the coccyx downwards, and your shoulders must be relaxed and hanging straight down, a queen's posture. Well, darlings, that's what we need today to perform our ritual. I'll ask you to turn off your phones. Let nothing distract you. Let it be your female power space in which just you and I exist. If you want to achieve the best result, please prepare photos of your children, if you handle your children, or photos of yourself as a little girl. If you don't have such a photo, that's not a problem. You may imagine and remember yourself in your thoughts. Some of you may even draw yourself. Prepare your favorite fruits or your favorite dish during your childhood. It may be a small candy, a piece of cake, or your family's favorite pie you cooked on special occasions. Do what will bring you back to pleasant childhood memories. Okay? You may need some time to get ready, and you have it. Shamans have always known since ancient times how to grow a child's soul, avoid complicated situations, and childhood psychological traumas, and not to spoil a child's fate in the face of their future. Therefore, shamans possessed the ancient knowledge, child rearing. I certainly share this information at our workshops when we gather together. If there was a traumatic event in a child's fate, which is quite possible, a shaman and the child's parents would perform specific cleansing rituals to remove the evil spirit from the child's fate. Just imagine that any traumatic event in a child's life is a spirit which emerges in a child. For instance, the spirit of fear, and the child starts being afraid of everything, darkness or enclosed space. As she grows older and turns into an adult, he or she starts being afraid of absolutely everything, communicating with other people, speaking in front of an audience, and maybe having honest conversations. A person may be afraid to be sincere, and all these spirits start growing up together with a child. A child grows up, and the spirits grow up as well. A small child usually has a small spirit of fear, while an adult may have a huge spirit of fear, which may enter the entire aura if he or she doesn't handle it and resist it. Can you imagine? Shamans knew that it was highly important to dive into their childhood and find this spirit, take it and remove it, and let a child live without this unpleasant spirit. Spirits may be quite different, not just a spirit of fear, but also a spirit of uncertainty or a spirit of resentment. Let's get rid of these unpleasant spirits together today.